Hello YouTube, this is me, Seth Yoder, future pro cyclist here. I'd like to tell you about my dream and what I want for this channel. It's been my dream since 14 years old to be a professional cyclist. I'm recording this on my birthday. I'm 16, and I'd like to tell you about my dream. My dream is to become a professional cyclist and race for a living and be as free as the wind. And I've gone through some tough year this year. I started riding when I was 14, I think, and what I did was I got a bike, just a old mountain bike. I started riding and I thought this was awesome, and I started like sprinting, trying to see how fast I could go, and the first thought that came to mind was I wanted to be a professional cyclist, and it stuck with me since then. And I want to be a professional cyclist for several reasons. The first reason is I want to be a professional cyclist because I want to be free. I want to live the life of training every day to become better. I love everything about cycling and everything about training to become better. And that's the main thing I love. Winning is fun, but the main thing I want is to be able to do this for a living. The second reason is I want to achieve a high level in the sport to prove to others that their dreams, no matter how grand they are possible. Because if someone like me, and there's nothing particular special about me besides my dream, can become a professional cyclist, it will inspire others to chase their dreams and help the world become a more amazing place. The faster I can be, the better cyclist I can be, the more opportunities I'll have. I could race, who knows, if I'm good enough, I could race in the Tour de France and do all sorts of things. So the faster I can become, the more free I'll be. And how will I get there? I will train, obviously. I will train consistently over a long period of time, slowly getting faster and better each year, setting myself every year to be able to train more. So it's not about how good I am right now, it's more about how good I am in 7 years from now. 7 years from now when I'm 23, I'll be more starting my career of almost becoming a pro. Hopefully I can become a pro by the time I'm 25 at the latest. Yeah, and how would that look? Well, when I'm not training, to be able to do all these things, like to be able to race, takes a lot of money, travel, all that. I will be working a lot, every chance I can get to make money, while also training to get better. I have a really nice place I work at, Dutch Valley Growers, and my boss Dylan is very kind, and I'm happy to be there. So I'll be working, getting money while I train and get better, year by year, and save up for the future. So yeah, now let's kind of talk about what have I gone through this year, which is kind of very important to my journey becoming a pro. So going back to the beginning, when I was 14, I started riding. I picked up a bike, didn't know anything about cycling, it was just a normal mountain bike. I was riding around having a blast, and what happened was I kept on riding more each day, and I started exploring, and I loved the feeling of riding a bike. And each day I rode longer and longer and explored all kinds of places around where I live. And eventually, like in 2 months, I was doing like 60-mile rides on a mountain bike. That took like 4 hours. Yeah. And one of those days I was exploring on this gravel road, and I met a couple of people. First one is Lou Ritchie. Um, she used to be part of A1, I think. But she was a very important part of me pursuing cycling, because when I was riding on the gravel road and I saw them, I was riding with them. They were all in their cycling gear and everything, all the cool bikes they had, and I'm like, this is really cool. Like, these are like real deal cyclists here. Was what I thought, and I talked to them, and she told me about these cool gravel roads, like down south from where I live in Cowlitz, Indiana, and all these different things, Dunn's Bridge, and these cool places. And she told me about gravel racing and Dust Bowl 100. Dust Bowl 100 was a race she told me about, and it's in Emmons, Indiana. And after I was done riding, I went back home, and I looked her name up in Strava, which is a popular app cyclists and runners use to like record their stuff. It's basically like Facebook for athletes. And looked her name up. I saw that long ride she did. I think it was like 70 miles. So you saw Sandhill Cranes and this Dunn's Bridge, really cool, all these cool gravel roads. And so yeah, and I looked up Dust Bowl 100, and I signed up for it, 18 under category, 100-mile gravel race, and my goal was to get first place in that race in July, which was less than a year, I think, from when I started cycling. And so I trained a lot, and I started doing longer and longer rides and exploring all those roads that she was doing, and I fell in love with cycling even more. I was going and seeing Dunn's Bridge, seeing the Sandhill Cranes, then I thought, oh, if I gotta be faster, I gotta ride with the group. So then I rode with Ironwood Cycling, which was the birth of everything almost, because when I rode with them, the first time I went to that and I rode, because I saw the group on Strava, it was a 40-mile ride. We averaged 16 miles an hour. They were all on fat bikes, and I was on my old mountain bike riding with them, and I somehow kept up. And I met a couple of very important people. I met Daniel from our bikes, Ralph, Rick Mezzo, and I think Rick Hill, like a ton of people who are very important that helped me later on in this journey. And so I rode with them kind of a lot, all the Thursday night rides where we were like going really fast and everything, and I started like keeping up with them, and they were like going really fast. And when I think like 2 months from then, I went to Ironwood, and they surprised me, and they got me a gravel bike, a really nice giant gravel bike, and I was amazed. Daniel gave it to me. I had a picture of Daniel, and they all teamed up and with their money and bought me this gravel bike, which was so impactful and amazing. They did that because I rode that everywhere. It was awesome. And I also got a road bike from Grant, and they gave a lot to me. They gave me cycling gear. I rode them every Thursday, getting faster. Did group rides with all of them. And Rick Hill, he brought me to a ton of races. He brought me to Gravel Nats. Rick Besa, he is another important person from this group, Ironwood, I rode with. He brought me to a ton of cyclocross races. All these people did so much for me. I can't even explain to you everything. Like, there's so many people, and they've all done so much for me. I just can't explain like all of it. Like, I'm just so thankful for them. And over that time, a year from then, a year of cycling, I was going into winter. So I started in winter riding when I was 14, and then this winter I was 15, and I started training a ton and trying to get fast, doing a lot of, I heard of high volume training was good. So I was training very high hours, doing, I think I did 3, 6, I think I did 8 20-hour weeks with squats and heavy squats and deadlifts, which is very stupid thinking about it right now, but I did that, and I was training very heavily, doing hours and hours on Zwift on my trainer that I got, because it was cold, doing a ton of miles, and then I got injured. This whole year been injured, which is, they thought I had shin splints. I went to PT. I did all these things, nothing worked. I tried everything, tried needling, like everything possible. And then they finally figured out that I had compartment syndrome, which is where I am right now. Basically what it is in your shin, and this is the pain I would always have when I was riding, is my shin would burn a ton and it would limit me. It would be so bad it would stop me from riding. And I felt that pain a little bit during the summer, but not that much. But it started getting a lot bad in winter when I was doing all these miles and squats and deadlifts and all these things. And this whole year, it's already fall. It's October right now. October 6th, I'm 16 years old. We're recording this on my birthday. So I had this problem with the burning, and I tried everything there was. Doctors finally, I got the doctors thought it was compartment syndrome. Finally, I went to the place and they stuck some needles in to test the pressure, and it was really, really high, and so it was compartment syndrome. And basically what that is the muscle tries to expand. But underneath the skin, there's something called fascia that separates the muscle and the skin, and so the muscle tries to expand, but it can't, causing really high pressure, which puts pressure on all the parts of your leg. It's very painful, and it is exercise-induced compartment syndrome, so it is caused by exercise, but it is genetic because your fascia that surrounds your muscle doesn't let the muscle tries to expand, but the fascia just keeps it in, causing pressure. So the only way to fix this is surgery, where they take a knife, they cut it open up the skin, and cut the fascia so the muscle can expand normally again. So I'm gonna be doing that November 25th, and then start back from ground zero to train and become a professional cyclist. So that's where I am right now. I've suffered this entire year with injury, not knowing what it was. Finally, I do. So I'm looking to get that surgery and get back on the bike. And another person I want to mention is Rostin from Mach 1 Performance, my coach. He's been awesome and has helped me mentally through this, and it's helped me, like, I can't even explain everything. All my friends have done. If I could stay here for hours naming all the people I know who've helped me. Rostin especially helped me a lot. I would call him a lot and about like different things, about my injury, and trying to, like, he helped me try to do rowing and different things to try to get my fitness while I'm injured, and so yeah, I'm excited to, when I'm finally not injured, get back on the bike. I'm excited for Rostin to coach me, and with a good coach and a good dream, then, I mean, how can I not become a professional cyclist? I mean, yeah. So this YouTube channel, I want to record all my progress from the start to when I become a pro. So this is my first video, which is my dream. So you kind of know what I'm about, and then I can also do videos after races, telling how the races went and all that, and so that we can see from the beginning to the end. And yeah, so hi me in 7 years. I hope you became a pro, and I hope you made me proud. Bye everybody.